From Inc.com, this is the Inc. Productivity Tip. Expert opinions, valuable insight, and helpful advice from today's top business coaches, thought leaders, and entrepreneurs. So, Shark Week returned to Discovery this week, and before the week ends, millions of people will rewatch Jaws. Of course, most of us will keep our eyes glued on the shark, but leaders should watch The Mayor. Now, this movie resonates with folks who grew up watching it, especially those from shore communities. Even for those who've never seen the film, the setup is pretty familiar. Police Chief Martin Brody receives a report of a shark attack off the beaches of Amadio Island. Once convinced the danger is real, he wants the beaches closed. Mayor Larry Vaughn overrules him with a line that could become a business school case, if it's not already. Amadio is a summer town. We need summer dollars. So in the movie, the 4th of July weekend is days away. The town's economy depends on tourist traffic, and a closed beach is a public admission that something is wrong. Now, it's easy to write Vaughn off as a villain. The truth is more uncomfortable, though. He was a leader doing exactly what his constituents demanded. Like every shore town in summer, the merchants wanted the beaches open, and the town lived or died on 10 good weeks each year. The pressure was real, and it was loud. Chief Brody had a warning, but Mayor Vaughn had a coalition. Now, this story is fiction, of course, but the situation is not, and many leaders eventually face some version of it. For example, stakeholders push hard for a decision that will hurt them later. A board may demand growth that the company's balance sheet cannot carry, or customers ask for a change that will break the product. The people applying the pressure are sincere, and most of them mean well and want a good outcome. They are also asking you to trade something they cannot see for something they can because they're unaware of all the facts. Vaughn's real mistake was that he listened to his town without sharing key information related to keeping everyone safe. Everyone around him wanted the same answer, and he treated that agreement as evidence. As a leader, it's pretty easy to do, but the townspeople never weighed a credible danger against a season of revenue. They could not because they never had the facts. Leaders routinely hold information their constituents do not. Sometimes having conversations and sharing critical information is a challenge in itself, but withholding it can be viewed as an abdication of leadership. Observe the people of Amadio closely on your rewatch. Make mental notes. The merchants asked for open beaches while counting on something long-term, a safe town with a future. Those two interests split the moment Brody delivered the shark warning, and Vaughn chose the short-sighted request over the long-term safety. And days later, a boy died. The panic that followed did more damage to Amadio's summer than any temporary closure would have. The less expensive decision turned out to be the expensive one. Before the pressure peaks, a leader can ask one thing: which outcome cannot be undone? A closed beach reopens. Lost revenue gets rebuilt. A lost child does not come back. Vaughn had the chance to make that trade, and he passed on it. There's a moment later in the film that shows he understood a bit too late. After the 4th of July attack, he stands dazed and says, "My kids were on that beach too." In the end, we see that he was not a monster. He was a father who responded to the loudest voices in front of him and called it leadership. Those loudest voices are usually the ones signing the checks or filling the stores, and serving them sometimes means disappointing them. A leader who cannot absorb anger in the short term has handed the decision to whoever applies the most pressure. So, when Jaws resurfaces this week, watch it for the lesson that matters. The shark is the crisis, while the mayor is the case study in leadership of what not to do. The people you answer to will keep asking for summer dollars, and part of the job is knowing when the answer has to be no. The other part is sharing the facts as you get them. Informed stakeholders make fewer demands that put them at risk. and a hard conversation before a crisis costs far less than an apology after one. That's all for today. Today's tip was authored by Monica Amadio. For more expert opinions from today's top business coaches and thought leaders, go to Inc.com/lead. Be sure to come back next week for more helpful tips from Inc.